Look at this structure. In a modern AWS environment, workloads spin up, permissions change, and configurations update thousands of times a day. Trying to track every single one of those changes by hand is physically impossible. If you rely on periodic manual reviews, your infrastructure will drift out of compliance the moment you finish your audit. A developer might accidentally leave an S3 bucket open to the public, and you won't know until the next quarterly check. By then, the data could already be compromised. To fix this, we need to take the human element out of the loop. Today, we are going to build a continuous, automated AWS compliance engine. This shows exactly what we're building. First, we deploy guardrails to detect threats like public S3 buckets. Second, we set up auto-remediation to fix misconfigurations instantly. And third, we automate evidence collection to feed right into a real-time executive dashboard. Before we start, you need two things to execute this build: an AWS account with administrator access and AWS organizations enabled to apply policies across your environment. By automating these steps, your compliance team stops chasing spreadsheets. Instead, security is built directly into the deployment process, allowing your developers to move faster without carrying unacceptable risk. Step 1 is establishing total visibility. You cannot protect what you cannot see, so we need complete record of every API call and configuration change across the architecture. To do this, enable AWS CloudTrail. Crucially, you must turn this on for all regions, not just your active ones. Attackers frequently spin up malicious workloads in unused regions specifically because they know nobody is looking there. Next, turn on Amazon Macie. This service scans your environment to automatically discover and classify sensitive information, like personally identifiable information or credentials, so you know exactly where your critical data lives. Now that we have logging in place, we move from monitoring to prevention. We are going to set up automated guardrails that block insecure configurations from ever being deployed. We do this using service control policies, or SCPs, inside AWS organizations. SCPs act as a master set of rules that apply across your entire cloud environment, superseding individual user permissions. Here is what that looks like in action. We write an SCP that denies the creation of public S3 buckets and blocks any new IAM roles with wildcard administrator access. If a developer tries to make a bucket public, they immediately hit this access denied error message. Before you deploy these rules globally, apply them to a sandbox organizational unit first. You must test them to ensure you don't accidentally break your existing production workloads. With CloudTrail logging everything and SCPs blocking the most dangerous actions, your environment defaults to a secure state. You've eliminated the primary root causes of data exposure before they can even start. Even with strict guardrails, existing configurations will eventually drift. Someone might manually alter a bucket policy or change a security group. We need the system to heal itself when that happens. Look at this logic flow. We start by deploying AWS Config and enabling the S3 bucket public read prohibited rule. The moment a bucket is exposed, it triggers an alert. We then route that alert directly into an AWS Lambda function or a systems manager runbook. That Lambda function executes a specific script. Without waiting for a human to approve a ticket, it strips away the public read access and locks the bucket back down. Inside your AWS Config dashboard, you will see the status immediately flip from a red non-compliant back to a green compliant. But there is one step you cannot skip. You must write your Lambda script so that it explicitly logs this remediation action into CloudWatch. Do not let the system fix the error silently. Auditors require proof that your controls actually work. That CloudWatch log is your time-stamped evidence showing exactly when the violation occurred and exactly when your automation resolved it. You no longer have to wait for an engineer to wake up to a pager alert. The architecture acts like an automated immune system, identifying and resolving vulnerabilities in real time. Now that the environment is secure, we have to prove it. In the past, compliance analysts spent weeks manually taking screenshots and hunting down log files. Instead, we use AWS Audit Manager. We configure it to continuously pull configuration snapshots, access logs, and encryption data straight from the source. This side-by-side comparison shows the difference. We leave the manual spreadsheets behind. Audit Manager takes those raw logs and maps them directly to specific frameworks, assigning your data to the exact control families required by SOC 2 or PCI DSS. With our evidence centralized and mapped, we can export this data out of the AWS console and turn it into strategic reporting for leadership. This is the Executive GRC Scorecard. It translates thousands of technical log entries into a clear snapshot of your cloud security health. It focuses on 3 main KPIs. First, mean time to remediate, showing exactly how fast your auto-healing scripts resolve errors. Second, the percentage of IAM policies strictly enforcing least privilege. And third, the percentage of workloads covered by full encryption. When an auditor or a board member asks about your risk exposure, you don't hand them a stack of JSON files. You show them this dashboard. It proves that your controls are active, measurable, and effective. Look at this mechanism in motion. Your AWS environment is now doing the heavy lifting, enforcing guardrails, healing configuration drift, and cataloging evidence automatically. Audit season is no longer a multi-week fire drill. When the time comes, generate reports instantly from the data Audit Manager collected all year. You have the blueprint. Log into your account today, enable CloudTrail across all regions, and deploy your first S3 guardrail. It's time to take control of your cloud governance.